Cosmic Hulk. Everything kicks off with Doctor Strange getting jumped out of nowhere by Hulk. And not just a normal Hulk rampage. This dude is locked in. Turns out the whole thing is set up by Leader, who basically tricks Bruce Banner, makes him transform, and then redirects Hulk straight into chaos as part of a bigger plan. He steals some crazy artifacts, including time travel tech from Doctor Doom, and uses Hulk as a living weapon. From there, Hulk gets thrown through time, smashing dinosaurs, surviving the meteor that wiped them out, and accidentally messing with the entire timeline. And then somehow, things get even crazier, because Leader decides, let me just get rid of Hulk permanently, and sends him into a supermassive black hole. Now normally that's instant death for literally anything, but Hulk is different. As he's falling in, his body is getting torn apart, atom by atom, stretched, crushed, completely destroyed, and yet he doesn't die. Instead, he absorbs all that gamma radiation and cosmic energy. His body keeps breaking and reforming over and over again, and every second just makes him angrier. Time inside the black hole goes insane too. While seconds pass outside, Hulk is basically experiencing eternity in pure pain and rage. And this is where the transformation really happens. After incountable time, Hulk literally starts rebuilding himself from nothing. His atoms, his particles, everything comes back together. He keeps smashing inside the black hole over and over until he eventually does something that shouldn't even be possible. He cracks the black hole itself. Then he keeps going for eons. Civilizations rise and die, the universe ages, stars burn out, and Hulk is still there, smashing and getting stronger. Eventually he breaks free entirely, and what comes out is no longer just Hulk. Now you've got this massive, universe-level version of Hulk floating in a dying universe. His body has adapted to insane pressure and energy, so now he's gigantic, insanely powerful, and basically running on pure cosmic rage. And right when he escapes, he runs into Galactus and just throws hands immediately. And to be honest, it's actually a fair fight. Hulk has evolved so much that he can match Galactus blow for blow, ripping him apart, tanking the power cosmic, and just going full savage mode on a literal cosmic entity. But it gets even crazier when Galactus tries to absorb Hulk's energy. Big mistake, because Hulk's power isn't something you can just take, it's tied to his rage. So instead of controlling it, Galactus starts turning into Hulk himself. That's how broken this version is. Hulk basically overwhelms a cosmic god just by existing. Eventually, Franklin Richards steps in and resets everything, sending Hulk back to his original time before things get even worse. But by then, the damage is done. We've already seen what Hulk becomes when you remove every limit. And that's really what Cosmic Hulk is. Infinite rage plus infinite time plus infinite pressure. No banner, no control, no limits, just a being that survived the worst thing in the universe and came out stronger. God of Light Null. Null is the god of darkness, the creator of symbiotes, and he's suddenly thrown into a place where darkness doesn't even exist. We're talking about the Light Force dimension, home of the Enigma Force. It's basically the opposite everything Null is. For the first time ever, Null isn't in control, he's out of his element, weakened, and forced to confront something he's never dealt with before, and that's Light itself. Now enter Eddie Brooke, but not the version you're used to. This is Eddie as the Illuminated, a being connected to the Enigma Force, basically acting as a guide to his realm. He offers Null a second chance to change. He tells him, you don't have to be the god of darkness anymore. Null, of all people, being offered redemption, it's like asking the embodiment of evil to just switch sides. Of course, Null being Null, he doesn't exactly sit down and reflect on his life choices. Instead, he takes power. During the confrontation, Null manages to siphon the Enigma Force itself from Eddie, and just like that, the god of darkness now wields the power of pure light. He abandons the shadows entirely and embraces this new energy for control. It's not Null becoming good just cause he's white now, it's Null weaponizing light. And this is where it gets insane. Null declares himself as a being who controls all forms of light, not just sunlight or energy blasts, everything. We're talking stars, supernovas, electricity, and even radio waves. He literally says the stars belong to him now. It's such a massive jump in scale. He goes from ruling darkness to dominating the very force that powers the universe itself. And he is still Null, same old mindset. So basically you're taking a character defined by darkness and flipping him into pure light. But instead of it changing him for the better, it just makes him more dangerous. Null doesn't adapt to the light, he bends it to his will. It's a complete rewrite of what this character even represents. Darkness, light, at that point, it doesn't matter. Power is power. Doctor Doom becomes the one above all. This all comes from Avengers Children's Crusade, and the setup is actually super important. After everything that happened with Scarlet Witch, with the Avengers assembled, House of M, no more mutants, she disappears, and everyone is either hunting her or trying to understand what really happened. That's where the Young Avengers comes in, especially Wiccan, who believes Wanda is his mother. And while the Avengers and the X-Men are ready to either imprison or kill her, Billy wants answers, and that search leads straight to Doctor Doom. What we find out is Wanda didn't reach that insane reality warping level alone. She and Doom actually tapped into something called Life Force, which is basically the raw power of creation itself. We're not talking normal magic here, this is multiversal level energy. That's what allowed Wanda to rewrite reality and wipe out mutant powers across every timeline, not just one universe. But the problem is, that power is way too much for anyone to control. It overwhelmed Wanda, led to all the chaos, and eventually disappeared, until this moment in the story. Now here's where Doom levels up. When Wanda and Wiccan try to access the Life Force again to fix everything, Doom steps in and takes it for himself, and just like that he transforms. This version of Doom is on a completely different tier. He literally reshapes reality casually, he heals people instantly, restores and removes powers like it's nothing, brings people back from the dead just to prove he can, then undoes it all in seconds. And he doesn't immediately go full villain. For once, he actually means it when he says he wants to fix things. He talks about redemption, about correcting all his past mistakes, about becoming something better. And for a moment, it almost feels believable. But then you start seeing the cracks. He still demands control, still expects everyone to submit, still believes he should be the one deciding reality itself. And then it all falls apart. The Life Force is just too much. As powerful as he is, he can't fully contain it, and it starts tearing him apart from the inside. That's when his real nature slips out completely. He lashes out, admits he manipulated events, even claims credit for the destruction caused by Wanda. Whether that's fully true or just Doom's ego talking is debatable, but the point is clear. This power didn't change who he is, it just amplified it. Eventually, the Life Force leaves him, and just like that, the one above all Doom phase ends. Daredevil, the god without fear. Let's be real, Daredevil has always been one of Marvel's most grounded heroes. There are no lasers, no flying, no cosmic nonsense, just insane skill, radar sense, and pure willpower. That's literally why people love him. He's the guy who can stand in a room with gods and still hold his own, without actually being one. But then War of the Realms came along and basically said, yeah, what if we made this man a literal god? And just like that, Matt Murdock went from defending Hell's Kitchen to tapping into powers way beyond anything he's ever had before. During the event, Heimdall gets taken out of the picture, and instead of just leaving that role empty, his power gets passed on to Daredevil. Suddenly Matt isn't just relying on his radar sense anymore. He becomes the new all-seer. We're talking cosmic level perception. He can see across realms, sense events happening far beyond Earth, and basically perceive reality on a scale he was never meant to handle. It's such a wild upgrade because Daredevil's whole identity is built around seeing without seeing, and now he's seeing everything. This power-up actually messes with him. Matt spent his entire life mastering a very specific way of sensing the world. His radar sense, his hearing, his instincts, that's his comfort zone. But now he's overloaded. He can hear the entire universe at once. Being the all-seer isn't easy, and for someone like Daredevil, it's almost overwhelming. And this is where the name, the God Without Fear, came from. Daredevil was already called the Man Without Fear, but now he's operating on a completely different level. With Heimdall's abilities, he's watching over entire realms. His senses go from human, well, enhanced human, to straight up divine. And the craziest part, he still keeps that same Daredevil mindset. He's still brave, still stubborn, still willing to throw himself into danger no matter what. The only difference now is that he's doing it with godlike awareness. All Black Double Mjolnir Thor. This power-up doesn't just come out of nowhere, it happens during one of the most legendary Thor series ever, the God Butcher saga, and it involves 3 versions of Thor at once: Young Thor, Present Thor, and King Thor from the future, all of them facing one of the most terrifying villains Marvel ever created, Gore the God Butcher. This is a war across time against someone who's been slaughtering gods like it's nothing, and for once, even Thor isn't enough. Everything revolves around the weapon Gore is using, the all-black Necrosword. This thing is not normal, it's basically a living weapon, made of darkness, capable of killing gods, creating armies, and adapting to anything. It's the reason Gore can even stand up to Thor in the first place, and over time, it starts influencing him, twisting his mind, pushing him further into madness. So now Thor is fighting someone powered by one of the most dangerous weapons in Marvel. At one point, Thor ends up wielding 2 Mjolnirs at the same time, his own and the one from King Thor's timeline. One Mjolnir is already a god-tier weapon, now double that. The power output, the lightning, the raw force, it's overwhelming. This moment alone already feels like Big Thor, but somehow it still isn't enough to fully stop Gore and the god bomb he's building. So Thor does something insane. Instead of just fighting the power, he takes it. Thor absorbs the all-black Necrosword into himself, and just like that, everything changes. Now he's not just the god of thunder anymore, he's channeling darkness itself. This is the all-black Thor moment. Thor, a symbol of heroism and godhood, wielding something as corrupt and destructive as the Necrosword, and combining that with two Mjolnirs, that's overkill on a cosmic level. It's the moment where Thor is pushed to his absolute limit, forced to use power he normally never would. And yeah, it works. It gives him enough strength to finally defeat Gore the God Butcher. Herald of Galactus Hulk. So the story starts with Galactus showing up on Earth like he always does. But instead of just taking the planet, he offers a deal. Spare Earth forever, in exchange for one thing, the Hulk. And honestly, from the Avengers' perspective, it's a logical choice. They've never been able to fully control Hulk, and now they've got a chance to both save the world and remove their biggest wildcard. And Banner agrees, not because he trusted Galactus, but because he sees it as a way out. No more hurting people, no more losing control, no more being the thing everyone fears. If becoming a herald means protecting Earth and finally finding peace, he'll take it. So Galactus transforms him and infuses him with the power cosmic. So you've got a Hulk with cosmic level power now. Now Banner actually tries to do good with it. Before Galactus arrives at a planet, he sends out warnings, evacuation plans, ways for people to escape. He can't stop Galactus directly, but he can minimize the damage. It's the most Banner thing ever, trying to save lives, even while being part of something that destroys them. He's basically walking that line between monster and protector on a universal scale. But then comes the breaking point. On a planet called Allison 3, Banner runs into the Avengers again. Iron Man, Captain Marvel, and Vision. And they are not there to save people. They are there for strategy, for control, for their own agenda. And suddenly Banner realizes something. They didn't just sacrifice him to save Earth, they got rid of him because he was inconvenient. And that's when everything explodes and the fight starts. Cosmic Hulk isn't holding back. He drains Captain Marvel's energy completely. He blasts Vision out of existence despite his intangibility. And Iron Man, even with a cosmic powered Hulkbuster suit, just gets overwhelmed. But the real turning point isn't the fight, it's the consequence. During the chaos, Iron Man crashes into a colony ship, the very people Banner was trying to save, and they die. And it breaks him. Because everything he did, everything he sacrificed, was supposed to prevent exactly that. And now, it's happened anyway. And that's when Banner realizes he's been used. By the Avengers, by Galactus, by everyone. And in that moment, Hulk and Banner stop being at odds. They align, and Hulk makes the call. The Hulk has no master. He rejects Galactus, rejects the role, rejects being anyone's weapon, and instead of serving, he turns around and heads straight for Galactus himself. So this is not just Hulk with cosmic energy. It's Hulk finally choosing his own path. No control, no chains, no compromises. Just Hulk on a cosmic level, deciding for himself what he is. Thor as the Herald of Galactus. Thor is one of Marvel's heavy hitters. We're talking God of Thunder, wielder of Mjolnir, son of Odin. This guy has been fighting world-ending threats since day one. And when he steps into the All-Father role, yeah, he gets even stronger. That alone is already a massive upgrade. But somehow, Marvel looked at that and said that's not enough. Because what comes next is easily one of Thor's craziest, most unexpected power-ups ever. During the chaos involving the Black Winter, even Galactus was scared. That's when you know things are serious. So what does Galactus do? He goes to Thor and basically says, I need your help and I'll make you my herald. And Thor becomes a herald of Galactus, the same role once held by the Silver Surfer. It sounds insane, but Thor accepts, because the threat is that big. And just like that, he gained access to something he's never had before. And of course, that's power cosmic. Thor now is All-Father Thor, plus a herald of Galactus. That means he has both Odin Force level power and the power cosmic at the same time. We're talking about a character who can already summon god level lightning, now also manipulating cosmic energy on a universal scale. His attacks hits harder, his durability goes through the roof. Anyway, Thor realizes Galactus isn't exactly being honest, shocking, I know, and decides he's not about to be anyone's servant. So what does he do? He turns on Galactus himself, and not just that, he actually overpowers him. Thor absorbs Galactus' energy, drains his power, and straight up kills him. That's how insane this version of Thor is. Thor has always been a god, a king, a warrior, but a herald, that's completely different. It flips his role, puts him in a cosmic position we've never really seen him in, and then takes it even further by making him outgrow it entirely. New Sun Gambit. New Sun is basically the answer to one big question Marvel fans always had about Gambit. What happens if Remy actually uses all his power? We're used to seeing Gambit throw charged playing cards and blow up doors, but that's honestly the tiniest slice of what he can really do. New Sun comes from an alternate reality where Gambit didn't hold back, didn't limit himself, and didn't hide his potential. Instead, he was trained from childhood to unleash everything inside him, and the result is a version of Remy who's not just dangerous, but downright godlike. In New Sun's universe, Remy actually joined the X-Men, just like the Gambit we know, but things escalated fast. This Gambit grew strong enough to take on the Phoenix Force and win, something that would normally take an Omega-level mutant or a cosmic entity. But it wasn't a victory to celebrate for long. New Sun began dabbling in magic he didn't fully understand, and his powers surged past anything he could control. In a single catastrophic moment, he accidentally wiped out every living thing in his universe, and in the aftermath of that disaster, he became obsessed with trying to undo it, pushing himself deeper into the multiverse. Eventually, New Sun crossed over into Earth 616 and came face to face with our Gambit. Instead of being some generic evil twin, their meeting was more like Remy confronting what he could become if he ever stopped holding back. New Sun revealed the truth about Gambit's mutation. He doesn't just charge objects with kinetic energy, he can control all kinetic energy at a molecular level. That means explosions, movement, heat, impact, anything involved in motion. At full power, Gambit is basically a walking atomic bomb who can bend physics however he wants. During their final showdown, Gambit actually reaches the same insane power level as New Sun, proving the potential has always been inside him. But unlike his alternate universe self, Earth 616 Gambit chooses not to live at that god tier level. He knows exactly how dangerous it is, and he's seen the consequences. New Sun is a living reminder of why Gambit hides behind jokes, charm, and playing cards, because the real Remy could crack a planet in half if he ever lost control. His design reflects that raw, overwhelming power. He doesn't look like a street-level div or a stylish X-Man anymore. He's more like a glowing, blue-white energy being shaped like Remy. Sometimes he hides behind armor or disguises, but his true form is basically Gambit as a living supernova. That's why New Sun is so fascinating. He's not a villain, not a hero, just a warning of how bright and how deadly Gambit can burn when nothing holds him back. Iron God Armor. This armor is basically what happens when Tony Stark stops playing with metal suits and decides to upgrade himself into a full cosmic being. Instead of building another armor, Tony gets blasted with the power cosmic, the same force behind beings like the Silver Surfer, and suddenly his armor isn't a suit anymore, it's his entire body. He becomes a living, glowing construct of cosmic energy shaped like Iron Man, with star patterns swirling inside him. Imagine Tony Stark fused with the power cosmic, Ultron's intimidation factor, and a galaxy-sized light show. That's the Iron God. Once Tony absorbs the power cosmic, he goes through this weird dreaming in space moment where he tries to wrap his mind around what godhood feels like. He starts seeing timelines, alternate futures, and even possible conflicts with the Avengers if they try to stop him. And of course, in Tony fashion, he starts thinking, maybe I can fix everything. It's a classic Stark, give him the power to do anything, and he immediately wants to fix the world, fix himself, fix the universe, and probably fix you. The first thing he does with his new cosmic power is go after Korvac, who also becomes a god at the exact same time. Their fight is insane. They are throwing planets, collapsing stars, smashing dead universes, and literally using entire worlds as melee weapons. This isn't armor versus villain. This is two gods punching each other across the cosmos hard enough to accidentally wipe out nearby civilizations. It gets so out of control that cosmic entities like Death, Eternity, and Living Tribunal show up just to tell them to calm down. After that, Tony brings his cosmic body back to Earth, and he comes in way too big, like galaxy-sized at first, until he shrinks down and tries to reassure everyone that he's still the same guy. Spoiler, he is not. He immediately decides that his first gift to humanity will be giving everyone in the city Tony Stark level intellect. He just casually upgrades every civilian into a super genius because in his mind that's totally reasonable. And when people panic, Tony basically says, relax, I'm fixing the world. That's when everyone, including Thor, Cap, and Reed Richards, realize they might have a cosmic powered Stark problem. The Iron God armor story becomes less about Tony fighting villains and more about Tony fighting himself, fighting his worst habits amplified by infinite power. He wants to help, but he stops asking permission, stops listening to friends, and starts thinking only he knows best. Even Hellcat tells him he's acting more like Korvac than Tony Stark. It gets so concerning that she secretly recruits Dr. Doom to help bring Tony back down to normal. And that's the core of the Iron God story. It's Tony Stark with the ability to remake reality, struggling not to lose himself in the process. I mean, it's cool, it's cosmic, it's dangerous, and very Tony Stark. Daredevil got new senses in hell. So Daredevil goes to hell, not metaphorically, not in some dream sequence, but actual hell. It wasn't random. Matt Murdock made that choice as part of a bigger plan to finally take down the Hand and all the dark forces tied to them. This was Daredevil stepping into a whole supernatural war zone, way outside his usual territory, and as you'd expect, he doesn't come out the same. While in hell, Daredevil is wielding weapons made of holy energy, and even manifests these glowing, almost angelic horns. It's such a wild visual because it flips his whole devil aesthetic into something more divine. The guy called the Devil of Hell's Kitchen is now using holy power to fight actual demons. It's poetic in a weird way. Anyway, after everything he goes through, Daredevil comes back different. His senses evolve beyond just radar, hearing and smell. They become supernatural. Daredevil can now perceive things that normal humans and even most heroes can't. We're talking about sensing evil on a deeper level. He can detect the influence of dark forces, including the living embodiments of the 7 deadly sins, no matter how well they are hiding. It's like his old radar sense got upgraded into something that reads the soul instead of just the environment. Daredevil can look at someone and basically sense the darkness inside them. Not just this guy is shady, but actual supernatural corruption. The 7 deadly sins can be walking around in human form, and Matt can pick up on it instantly. That's a huge shift from his usual role. Before, he relied on instincts and evidence to judge people. Now, he has a direct line to something deeper, something almost divine. And what makes this version of Daredevil stand out is that it's not about becoming stronger physically. There's no cosmic blast, no god-tier strength, just a terrifying expansion of perception. And honestly, that fits him perfectly. He's all about senses, judgment, and walking the line between good and evil. And this upgrade just pushes that idea to its absolute limit. Adam Warlock as the Living Tribunal. Adam has always been one of Marvel's biggest cosmic wildcards, but his journey to becoming the Living Tribunal takes him into a completely different league. It all starts when two different versions of Warlock and Thanos cross paths across two different universes. They are pulled toward a strange artifact created by beings even above the Tribunal, and things immediately get out of hand. Their subconscious minds start reshaping entire universes like clay. Thanos turns his reality into a dead necropolis, and Warlock turns his into a world stuck in an endless cycle of death and resurrection. When the timelines finally snap back into place, the more powerful Adam Warlock from that alternate universe quietly replaces the Earth 616 version, instantly making him one of the strongest beings in existence. After that cosmic switch, Warlock tries to understand what he's become. He discovers the horrifying truth. He accidentally absorbed his entire reality into himself, including the essence of his universe's Living Tribunal. That means he is no longer just Adam Warlock. He's a being carrying the operation system of an entire universe. Things escalate when Annihilus invades, juiced up with Hulk-level power and fear manipulation. Even with Thanos, the Guardians, and cosmic powerhouses at his side, Warlock is overwhelmed, captured, and accidentally triggers the destruction of the entire universe when Pip the Troll tries to rescue him. Floating in the absolute nothingness left behind, Warlock summons Thanos for guidance. And here's where it gets god-tier. Thanos convinces Warlock to seek help from the above all others, the supreme being of the entire Marvel multiverse. The only reason Warlock can even reach this entity is because he contains the Tribunal's essence. Together, Warlock and Thanos strike a deal. They'll restore the universe exactly as it was, and in return, they'll deliver a new flavor, a fresh, different universe born from the destruction. With an army of cosmic dead behind them, the two confront Annihilus, defeat him, undo his uprising, and reset reality to its original state. With the universe restored and only the strongest cosmic beings remembering what happened, Adam performs one final act. He resurrects the original 616 version of himself. And as part of the deal with the above all others, Adam Warlock ascends into the role of the new Living Tribunal. He becomes a being who oversees all realities, weighs cosmic balance, and stands one tier below the one above all. From that point on, Warlock isn't just a hero or a cosmic wanderer, he is one of the pillars of the multiverse itself. But cosmic peace never lasts. When a future universe devouring Thanos starts absorbing cosmic beings using the Astro Regulator, Warlock, now the Tribunal, tries to stop him and fails. Thanos absorbs him, the Tribunal, and even the above all others, temporarily becoming the embodiment of the multiverse itself. Thankfully, Warlock and his allies manage to help the present Thanos regain control and reverse everything. When the multiverse dies and is reborn again, the original Living Tribunal is restored, but Adam's time in that position remains one of the wildest glow-ups any Marvel character has ever achieved. Carnage Spider-Man. So you've got Carnage running wild like usual, teaming up with this new villain, Torment. People are getting hunted, Aunt May is literally in danger, and the whole situation feels way more personal. Meanwhile, Peter is already exhausted, both physically and mentally. He's dealing with pressure from every direction, trying to protect his family, while also facing villains that don't think like normal villains. Carnage especially is on another level, because he doesn't want to win, he wants to break people. And that's the kind of energy Peter is walking into. Then things take a sharp turn when Peter gets overwhelmed in the fight. He's injured, distracted, and just not in control of the situation anymore. That's when the Carnage symbiote makes its move. And unlike the classic Venom bond, this isn't some slow partnership or a long-term alliance. Carnage just dives straight into Peter's mind and body. It latches onto him instantly, and the transformation happens in seconds. The suit itself looks insane, way more jagged, aggressive, almost like Spider-Man turned into a horror version of himself. Inside Peter's head, things get even worse. Carnage doesn't just give him power, it floods him with pure chaos. We're talking constant thoughts of killing, destruction, pain, like his brain is being hijacked by a voice that never shuts up. And the scary part is how it tries to reframe everything. It starts twisting Peter's guilt, his doubts, even his trauma, and turns it into fuel. Carnage basically tells him, "You're tired of holding back. Let me show you how easy it is if you just let go." And for a moment, you can actually feel how dangerous that is, because Peter has lost people, he has suffered. Carnage is trying to weaponize all of that. And physically, you've got all of Peter's speed, strength, agility, spider sense, combined with Carnage's shapeshifting, tendrils, and raw brutality. He's way more aggressive, way less controlled. It's like Spider-Man without the moral filter. He's faster, stronger, and more unpredictable, but also way more dangerous to everyone around him. The real problem isn't just that he could lose control, it's that if Carnage fully takes over, no one would even suspect him at first. Imagine Spider-Man, the most trusted hero, secretly becoming a walking massacre. That's the nightmare scenario. And of course, Peter doesn't just give in. Even with all the noise in his head, all that pressure pushing him into the snap, he keeps holding onto who he is. He focuses on the people he cares about, on doing the right thing even when it's harder. And that's what Carnage can't fully understand. It's built on chaos and impulse, while Peter is built on responsibility. And that clash is what eventually lets Peter push back and take control again. Not because he's stronger physically, but because mentally he refuses to break. Colossus became the Juggernaut. Let's not forget, Colossus is already one of the most physically powerful X-Men. The guy literally turns his entire body into organic steel. Bullets, useless. Explosions, that's light work. And strength-wise, he's been throwing hands with some of Marvel's biggest heavy hitters for years. He's also half of the iconic Fastball special with Wolverine, which tells you everything about how strong he is. So yeah, Colossus was already built like a walking fortress, but through manipulation involving his sister magic, he ends up becoming the new host of the Juggernaut's power. That means he gains access to the Crimson Bands of Cyttorak, the same mystical force that powers Juggernaut. And if you know Juggernaut, you already know what that means. Once he starts moving, nothing stops him. This is a magical, unstoppable force energy layered on top of Colossus or the insane physical abilities. Colossus becomes ridiculously strong, way beyond his normal limits, his durability even crazier. He's basically immune to damage on a whole different level now. And when he moves, he charges with so much force that it creates glowing red energy around him. At this point, he is inevitable. While empowered as Juggernaut, he's able to go head-to-head with Hulk, and not just survive, he actually competes. That alone tells you how insane this upgrade is. But like most crazy Marvel power-ups, there's a catch. The power of Cyttorak comes with influence. Colossus isn't fully himself anymore. He's more aggressive, more destructive, and gets pulled toward darker actions. Unipower Silver Surfer. Silver Surfer is already insanely powerful. He casually flies through space, manipulate matter, absorb energy, time warp, all thanks to the power cosmic given to him by Galactus. The Surfer has always been this calm, almost philosophical cosmic being, but every now and then, the universe throws something at him that pushes him beyond even his already ridiculous limits. And that's exactly where the Unipower comes in. The Unipower is basically the force behind Captain Universe, this mysterious cosmic energy that chooses a host when the universe needs saving. It bonds with someone worthy and turns them into a near unstoppable force. But here's the twist, it doesn't always choose the right person. Sometimes it gets forced, manipulated, or ends up in the wrong hands. And when that happens, things get bad, because whoever has the Unipower, they get reality level influence. It's like the universe itself saying, "Here, fix the problem," and handing someone god-tier abilities to do it. At one point, the Unipower gets hijacked by a villain named Crossakis. And yeah, that goes exactly how you'd expect. He becomes a massive cosmic threat, way beyond what he's should ever be capable of. That's when the Surfer steps in, and this turns into a full-on cosmic clash between two insane forces, the Power Cosmic versus the Unipower. During the battle, Silver Surfer manages to separate the Unipower from Crossacus, and it bonds with him instead. And just like that, it's over. The Surfer goes straight up, god tier beyond comprehension. You're combining the Power Cosmic with the Unipower. The result is a being that can do almost anything. Energy manipulation, reality influence, cosmic awareness, all amplified to absurd levels. Unlike Crossacus, the Surfer actually understands responsibility. He doesn't abuse it, doesn't go crazy with it. He uses it to fix the problem, free the people who were enslaved, and restore balance. Of course, he doesn't keep it. Once everything is done, he lets the Unipower go, and it finds a new, more fitting host. Eternal Storm. In Storm Issue 4, Marvel finally gives her the upgrade fans have long suspected she deserved, an avatar of creation itself. In this form, Aurora becomes the Storm, across galaxies, dimensions, and the very fabric of existence. It all begins with a dinner with Doctor Doom that turns deadly. During a stretch where Storm has lost access to her mutant abilities, Doom manipulates her into reawakening her powers before she's ready, and that mistake brings her face to face with Egon, an ancient spirit bound by a deal that had previously saved her life. When she breaks that pact, the spirit impels her into a brutal act of cosmic justice. For a brief moment, the woman who could call lightning from the heavens lies dead, her power extinguished. But this is Marvel. Death is never the end. As her soul drifts between life and death, she meets her father, and the embodiment of the universe itself, Eternity, appears. And instead of taking her soul, Eternity offers her its power. The same cosmic entity that represents all of existence deems Storm worthy of becoming its avatar. When she returns, she is reborn as Eternal Storm, her eyes blazing with galaxies, her body a conduit for the universe's raw energy. This isn't just more lightning. Storm's new form operates on a scale far beyond Omega level mutation. She can command cosmic weather, not just clouds and rain, but solar winds, black hole currents, and elemental forces that shape entire worlds. Her power flows directly from Eternity, meaning she's linked to the heartbeat of the universe itself. In her return, she channels that power into pure vengeance, annihilating Egon with a lightning storm so massive it tears through realms. What's remarkable about this form isn't only the strength, but what it means. Storm's always been about balance between humanity and divinity, compassion and power, leadership and freedom. And as Eternal Storm, she embodies all of that. She's the union of Earth and Cosmos, a bridge between mortal life and infinite creation. And it's fitting that Eternity chose her. She's one of the few heroes who wields power without ego. So she's no longer just the weather goddess or the X-Men's elemental powerhouse. She's become something transcendent. King in Black, Eddie Brock. Eddie Brock has always been a wild character, but never this wild. As Venom, he was already dangerous, you've got super strength, regeneration, the usual symbiote chaos. But at the end of the day, he was still more of a street to mid-level anti-hero compared to Marvel's cosmic heavyweights. Then King in Black happened, and everything changed. Eddie got pushed into a role that affects the entire multiverse. To understand this power-up, you need to know about Null. He is the original god of symbiotes. This guy is ancient and literally commands an army of living darkness. During the King in Black event, Eddie ends up defeating Null in one of the most insane showdowns Marvel has done in recent years. And when Null falls, that power gets passed on. Suddenly Eddie Brock becomes the new King in Black, the ruler of all symbiotes across the universe. Eddie now has control over every symbiote, not just Venom, all of them. Across planets, across space, across time, he can communicate with them, command them, and even experience reality through them. It's like having billions of extensions of yourself scattered throughout the universe. And on top of that, his connection to the symbiote hive mind becomes something cosmic. Something way beyond anything we've seen before. But it doesn't stop at control. This power starts messing with time itself. Eddie's consciousness begins to exist across different points in time, creating alternate versions and branching paths. One of these leads to something called the eventuality, basically a future, hyper-evolved version of this power that goes even further beyond. It gets weird very fast. Eddie Brock is dealing with existence on a level where past, present, and future start blending together. So yeah, this is a guy who started as a journalist with a grudge, and now he's basically a cosmic entity managing an entire species across the universe. It's a complete evolution. Sorcerer Supreme Doom. Let's get this straight. Doctor Doom is already one of the most dangerous minds in Marvel. Genius level intellect, master strategist, ruler of Latveria, and a powerful sorcerer. Like most characters specialize in one thing, science or magic. Doom said, why not both? He's always been obsessed with power, control, and proving he's better than everyone, especially Reed. So when an opportunity shows up to gain even more power, you already know he's taking it. At one point, Doctor Doom actually becomes the Sorcerer Supreme. That's the title usually held by Doctor Strange, meaning Doom is now the most powerful magic user on Earth. The same guy who already had advanced tech, armor, and scientific knowledge now has access to the highest level of mystical power too. Most sorcerers rely purely on spells, rituals, and mystical knowledge, but Doom, he combines magic with science. It's like giving a wizard a supercomputer and infinite prep time. He can counter spells, create new ones, and manipulate reality in ways that even the other sorcerers struggle to understand. And it makes sense. Unlike some heroes, he doesn't hesitate, he doesn't second guess. Doctor Doom has the willpower and confidence to use magic at its absolute peak. And in Marvel, that matters. A lot of magical power comes down to belief and control, and Doom has both in unlimited supply. Rogue. In this story, Silver Surfer is rebelling against Galactus after watching him destroy a world that could have had life. Surfer's done with it, and Galactus is like, I'll just replace you. And around that same time, Surfer gets blasted out of the sky and crashes on Earth, right where a young, inexperienced Rogue finds him. Now this is early Rogue. She doesn't fully understand her powers yet. She just sees a dying guy and tries to help with a kiss, and that's a big mistake. The second she touches him, her mutation kicks in at full force. But instead of just draining him a little like she normally does, she straight up absorbs everything. His memories, his identity as Norman Rad, and most importantly, the power cosmic. So yeah, basically Rogue is suddenly jumping from street level mutant to cosmic level entity in one moment. And she feels it immediately. She knows Surfer's entire life, his pain, his deal with Galactus, everything. But she also feels something else. Galactus pulling on her. Because now that she has that power, she basically becomes the new Herald. Same job, same curse. Go find planets, watch them die. And Rogue is not built for that. But she doesn't just fly around clueless, she adapts, she's traveling through space, sensing life forms, understanding alien ecosystems, and even throwing hands with Galactus himself. Yeah, she actually tries him. She talks trash, she challenges him, and tries to outsmart him by feeding him a dangerous planet. But then Galactus shows her the bigger picture, that his role isn't just destruction, it's part of the cosmic balance. Without him, the universe basically collapses over time. And that's when Rogue shifts from rebellion to strategy. Instead of trying to beat him, she negotiates. Her idea, if she has to be a herald, she's going to do it her way, with saving pieces of civilizations before they are destroyed. It's not perfect, but it's the most human solution in a completely unhuman situation. So with that, she becomes a cosmic being with godlike power, but she never loses herself. She's still stubborn, still emotional, still trying to do the right thing, even when the system is broken. She doesn't become cold like the Silver Surfer or detached like Galactus. She stays rogue, just with the power to shake the universe. Titan Hulk. Titan is the deadliest persona of the Hulk, as the terrifying dark version of the hero is the most destructive form yet. For years, Bruce Banner's whole deal was turning into the Hulk when pushed to his emotional and physical limits, but Donny Cates' run flips that upside down. Now Bruce controls the Hulk's body, and the Hulk personality is kept locked in the engine room of Banner's mind, fighting endless psychic battles to generate strength. Every time the Hulk inside gets angry, the physical Hulk outside gets stronger, but the setup has a dark side. Deep in Banner's mind, past Hulk's rage and Banner's trauma, there's something else, something older, nastier, and waiting for Hulk to break. That thing is Titan. He tells Hulk that he owns him, that he controls him, and that eventually he'll take over everything. When Hulk tries to fight back, Titan wipes the floor with him mentally. It's the first time we see Hulk completely powerless inside his own mind. Titan is basically a gamma demon, a parasitic Hulk form born from trauma, fear, and the absolute breaking point of Bruce Banner's psyche. Once Titan finally manifests physically, the difference is immediate. Hulk doesn't just get bigger or angrier. He becomes a full-blown Gamma Kaiju, a cosmic-level monster whose power level makes Worldbreaker Hulk looks like warm-up mode. One of the most insane moments is when Titan Hulk faces 500 Worldbreaker Hulks on Hulk Planet. These guys are strong enough to smash planets for sport, but against Titan, they don't stand a chance. Titan Hulk starts draining their gamma, ripping the energy right out of their bodies, and using it to grow stronger and more destructive. Every punch, every scream, every breath from Titan wipes out dozens of Hulks like they are paper. Meanwhile, Doctor Strange gets involved because he realizes something horrifying. Titan shouldn't exist. To make matters crazier, we learn Bruce never actually learned his powers from the real Strange. He learned them from Despair, a nightmare demon posing as Strange. That means Titan wasn't an accident. Something in the multiverse wanted Titan to be born, and that makes him even scarier, because he is not just a rogue Hulk transformation. He's a cosmic level threat being pushed toward total destruction. Titan doesn't want to fight enemies, or save worlds, or smash bad guys. He wants to to erase everything, from planets to galaxies to the multiverse itself. His whole story ends on a terrifying note. Once he reaches full power, there's almost nothing left that can slow him down. Strange's astral form gets swatted away like dust. The Worldbreaker army is obliterated, Hulk planet falls apart, and Titan's power keeps growing with every drop of gamma he absorbs. He's the Hulk's worst nightmare, made real. The moment where Hulk isn't the strong one there is anymore, because something inside him is even stronger, darker, and far more destructive. Angel Punisher. Frank is already terrifying without any powers. The man is pure vengeance, fueled by loss and armed to the teeth. No super serum, no mutations, no magic, just skill, strategy, and zero hesitation. That's what makes him scary. But at one point, Frank Castle actually dies, and instead of saying gone, he comes back as something completely unexpected, an angel of heaven. After one of his many deaths, because it's comics of course, Frank doesn't just wake up in a coffin. He's brought back by heaven itself. Not hell, not demons. Punisher becomes an agent of divine justice, essentially a heavenly warrior sent back to Earth with a mission. And if that sounds like it would soften him or make him more heroic, no. He's still Frank Castle. Same mind, same thinking, and same brutality, just now backed by something holy. He gains supernatural strength, enhanced durability, and access to heavenly weapons and energy. He's not just shooting criminals anymore. He's delivering what feels like literal divine punishment. If anything, this power just makes him even more effective at what he really does. It's like giving a one-man army the backing of heaven itself. As an angel, Frank doesn't really change. He doesn't become some peaceful angel floating around, preaching forgiveness. He's still ruthless, still focused, still doing things his way. Punisher basically takes this divine upgrade and uses it like he would any other weapon. And that's what makes it feel so off, because even heaven can't fully change who Frank Castle is. This has to be one of the weirdest Marvel upgrades ever, simply because of how contradictory it is. You're taking one of the darkest, most brutal anti-heroes and making him a literal angel. Godzilla Hulk. So the story drops us into a dark alternate version of Marvel, set in a 70s style world where Godzilla has already been rampaging for a while. And I'm not talking city damage level, I'm talking heroes are dead. Tony Stark is gone. A lot of the usual heavy hitters are either missing or repurposed, and the world is basically in survival mode. The military, led by General Ross, is running the show from this underground base called Thunderbolt Ranch. They are building giant mech suits to fight kaiju. Trying to win a war, they are clearly losing. And in the middle of all of that, you've got Bruce Banner. And here's the twist. Everyone thinks Hulk is dead. Banner basically faked it, let the world believe the Hulk was gone, and has been hiding that side of himself. But you can already feel it building, because in a world this dangerous, Hulk is less of a threat and more like the last option. Meanwhile, a villain named Dr. Demonicus is playing his own game, creating this horrifying sludge kaiju called Hedorah, a monster made from the DNA of other dead kaiju. Anyway, things go completely off the rails when the military tries to bait Godzilla into a trap using Mothra. Godzilla shows up, fights the mechs, and absolutely wrecks them. Nothing they build can stop him. But then Demonicus unleashes Hedorah, and suddenly even Godzilla is in trouble. This thing is corrosive, toxic, and starts literally dissolving Godzilla from the inside. For the first time, the king of the monsters looks like he might actually lose. And that's when everything flips. Banner, trapped and about to die, finally lets go, and Hulk comes back. But instead of just smashing everything, Hulk actually recognizes what's happening. Godzilla isn't the enemy anymore. He's the only one standing between Earth and something worse. So Hulk does something insane. He helps Godzilla. He uses his own gamma-infused blood combined with a massive energy jolt to revive him. And that's the moment where Godzilla comes back different. This is Gamma Godzilla, basically Godzilla with Hulk's rage running through him. His eyes glow green, his power spikes like crazy, and now we've got a kaiju that's not just strong, but fueled with the same energy that makes Hulk unstoppable. And Hedorah, yeah, it doesn't last long. One brutal punch, followed by an atomic gamma blast, and it's over. Completely wiped out. Hulk and Godzilla don't talk here, don't team up in some heroic speech way, but they understand each other. Two beings who are always treated like monsters, finally on the same side for once. After everything's done, Godzilla just walks away, and Banner straight up warns Ross. If you attack him again, Godzilla will come back, and this time, it won't be pretty. And that's Godzilla Hulk in a nutshell. Not a permanent fusion or anything like that, but a moment where Hulk's power literally turns Godzilla into something even more unstoppable. Spider-Man transforms into Man-Spider. So this whole thing starts with a trip to the Savage Land. Yeah, that hidden prehistoric jungle in Antarctica where Marvel just throws dinosaurs, mutants, and chaos all together. Spider-Man heads there with Angel and a woman named Tanya who's looking for her first love. And that guy turned into Sauron, which already tells you this story is about to get weird. While exploring there, they run into the Savage Land mutates, basically people who've been genetically altered, and their leader Brainchild. This guy has access to some wild tech, including a machine that can mess with evolution itself, not just enhance you, but literally rewind your DNA back to something more primitive. And instead of using it carefully, he just decides to test it on Spider-Man and Angel. And now, here's where it goes bad. Peter isn't a normal human. His DNA is already altered by the spider bite, so when the machine hits him, it doesn't just de-evolve him a little, it strips away his humanity completely. And what comes out on the other side is Man-Spider, a giant, monstrous spider creature. We're talking multiple arms, fangs, full insect instincts, and almost no human thought left. This isn't Peter in a scary suit. This is Peter's mind getting buried under raw, animal behavior. You get moments where he's conscious, tries to fight back like he knows something is wrong, but it's like being trapped in your own body while someone else is driving. No jokes, no responsibility, no control, just instinct. It's basically Spider-Man without the man part. Meanwhile, Angel gets turned into this twisted bird creature too, so everything is just spiraling. That's when the rescue comes in. Kazar and Sauron, back in human form for the moment, attack a Brainchild's base to save them. In the chaos, Peter's human side manages to break through, just enough to destroy the machine that caused all this. That moment is key. It shows you that even when he's completely transformed, Peter is still fighting to come back. The actual fix comes from Sauron. Using his energy draining ability, he pulls the mutation energy out of Peter, Angel, and the others, restoring them back to normal. But of course, it comes at a cost. Taking in all that energy turns him back into Sauron again, so the cycle continues.